Hello, welcome to the fourth installment of Behind the Beat. Today I'll be taking you under the hood to show you a little bit of the process of creating the first single and latest single by Angelica Borland, my friend and collaborator. She's a film director, cinematographer, photographer, breathwork and meditation facilitator, and just overall awesome creator being artist. Just to give you a little context, we had met like a year and a half ago now, as she began her classes at Flow State, facilitating breathwork, which if you haven't checked out, every Tuesday at 7 or every other Tuesday she's teaching, but come check her out sometime for that. But yeah, we met and started sharing ideas and concepts for collaborating on some music. She had been wanting to explore getting into the recording arts, and we kind of vibed on some ideas of creating music that could work for breathwork and meditation, yoga classes, but also that you could move and groove to, and kind of like meditative house, if you will. So for this song, we had decided to schedule a session to create something from scratch one day. And I had a little downtime before she was gonna arrive to the studio, so I started building out the beat and the essential elements before she arrived, which then we started writing the melodies and the lyrics and arranging the track and recording the vocals. And we basically got most of it done that first session, with some touch-ups and retakes and just adjustments along the way until we released it. But so let's get into it. The first thing actually, I was looking around Splice for samples, and the first thing I listened to actually was this breath. It actually sounds a lot like her breath, which you'll find out if you go to her class on Tuesday sometime. It started with that, and then I used Omnisphere and found this marimba melody. I was trying to create a melody that felt contemplative and meditative. I then added this drone synth. So those elements together with the breath. It's very active breathing. Gets the blood and oxygenates the blood. Then I added this crystal bowl, tuning it to the key of the song, which is C. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I think C is the tonal center of the universe. So it works out in this case. So it's a long, minute and a half intro, technically, but for the intent and purposes of making a more meditative track, it worked out. Early on here, there's actually some mermaid voices recorded and sung by Angelica. It's just pleasant to hear. She actually sent me this kind of science on humming, and the response in the brain to humming frequencies and mouth noises from humans, and how it like puts us in a trance, and it very much helps, similar to a mantra, to like guide in a meditation and other stuff. I'll have to recheck that post, but it was really interesting. So I'm glad we added some hums in this case. So this goes on for like a minute and a half. And then the drop happens. Well, first her voice here goes,
I'm right here. Losing control, lost in the flow, feelings I know, watching me go, watching me go.
so that was like the main beat at the drop there that we had going, and then we wrote the lyrics and melodies to these vocals and recorded them.
Losing control, lost in the flow.
I think I added some like little Ultra Boy and pitched down some of the vocals to create like a low voice effect, to just create some textures. So part of the main elements here, I have a pad synth that's super wavy and like sidechain to the kick to give it that pulsing feel. Layered that with this cosmic pad. Let's see. Those two together. I was trying to like layer sounds that all kind of created dynamic texture, all kind of had this pulsating feel and movement that worked really well with the beat. Also, I found this dope desert gong, just like super deep. And also on the drop, I can't forget these night crickets. Which, side note on that, I saw this video on Instagram or something where this guy like recorded cricket sounds in this field and then slowed it way down. And when he slowed it down, the cricket sounded like a classical like orchestra, like perfectly in sync and harmonic, and like it's actually kind of trippy. I can't recall exactly what the post was, but super interesting. Also, on a side note, I'm pretty sure Timbaland used crickets in one of the songs that he produced for Aaliyah. Perhaps it's that one. Your love is a 1 in a million. It goes on and on and on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's that one. Maybe it's the that one hit. Are you gonna be somebody? Tell me about somebody. Doing that. You know what I mean? There might be crickets in one of those, maybe both. But honestly, the crickets create a like this dope ambiance. Check it.
Losing control, lost in the flow, feelings I know, watching me go, watching me go, watching me go.
So when that drop comes in, I added this vocal synth. Just like gives it a little dynamic with the breath. with the pads. And then I created a bass sound in Serum. This is the first half. Super wubby. Everything's like pulsing. And then I switched up the pattern and the patch in Serum a little bit more underwatery. So the drop with everything in. Well, first, here's the drums. Groovy. Now with everything in. Atmosphere too here in the drop. Just does what it says. It gives it atmosphere and ambiance. Just adds to the vibe. Also, this wavy atmosphere, adding to the texturous, pulsating feel. So this is kind of like a breakdown. Okay, now this is like, I think the most essential element and sound of this track, in my opinion. It's this smooth lead that I created. It's just got like a serious vibe. Vocals, we were playing with like putting it, EQing it, filtering it in sections to, you know, just shift the perspective. And that leads to this like drum and bass kind of drum breaks kind of section that has these drum breaks that I made. Just like builds this like tension. That this like atmosphere soundscape. You can't really hear it, but it's there. It's an ambiance. Also in this section, it's like these like haunting voices that you can kind of hear moving around. Also in this section, the gong is back. And the atmosphere and the marimba just like building up. Oh, and can't forget, we live recorded. Angelica has this awesome like tribal hand drum. Boom. And we recorded it. It has an amazing like deep tone. Just like puts you in a trance. So all of that together kind of builds up. It's kind of like a bridge that builds up to the last drop. filter sweeping it up to ramp up the energy. I added some ocean waves as more just texture underneath ambiance. Also created a different bass synth here that's an ARP. Just gave it a different energy and movement. I also added this sound in this section to open up a new element. Just adding again to the pulsating texture. We've also talked a lot about, what should a artist name be? How do I present myself to the public? Am I a breathwork teacher? Am I a songwriter? Am I a filmmaker? Or am I just all of these things? And that's why we really loved the title and concept centering around Watching Me Go. It's just kind of accepting and embodying all the different creative mediums that Angelica is interested in exploring. And so the song we felt was an awesome way to introduce the world to her art in the form of music and being a recording artist that also overlaps and opens up for overlapping with creating visuals around that, using it for yoga and meditation, breath work. So we're really happy about how it turned out and appreciate all the love with it. But yeah, that's basically it. Check it out. It's on the streaming platforms. Add it to your meditation, yoga playlists. It's just a good one to go on a walk on the beach with. It's good to get still and close your eyes, meditate to. It's great for breathwork class. And also if you feel dancing alone or with others. Yeah, it was an awesome experience working with Angelica on this one. For someone, I love collaborating with artists that are coming from a different kind of field of creativity. Her, in this case, not really having experience with music, coming more from the film, directing, photography, cinematography realm, was really cool because we, opened ourselves up to explore different approaches to songwriting and music production because of that. And that always keeps things interesting and exciting. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the fourth Behind the Beat installment, and looking forward to sharing the next one. Go follow at Angelica Borland on Instagram and Coastal Meditation to stay up to date with her activities. yeah, enjoy. Peace.